we're going to move on to the next part of the show, guys, which is the breakfast show. Not Pursuit of Success, Tuesday, sorry. Relationship Power. I can fumble, The thing is, I think because I'm a bit crazy, I think I get away with it. People are like, he like that. That's his condition. He's okay. All right, guys. So we're going to go into the first part today. It is Relationship Power. We're going to show you pieces of last week's Love Talk. It's great because if you're in a Love Talk meeting and you're getting those powerful nuggets, you can get those challenges. You can see that Hepzibah's here with the pink top, all right? And she's looking ever trendy. She's got her pearls on. This is her swagger, all right? And Hepzibah's part of the Love team. She's part of the Love team and she's very dedicated. And the great thing about Hepzibah is that she's lived 2 lives, literally. She knows what it's like to have a relationship outside, right, making some crazy mistakes, and she's here with us, in this new life with God, getting all these powerful nuggets and sharing everything with us and showing, look, you know what, you better listen to this because that nonsense over there don't work that you're doing, you know what I mean? So it's really important, isn't that right, Hepzibah?
Totally.
Yep, and it's interesting how the percentage of many times when people divorce or break up in a relationship, you'll find it's for really small reasons, and these are things that are actually getting covered and dealt with in the Love Therapy every Thursday, So last week we had a few that we had on the screen. You got it there? Yep. So what we've got there, Kathleen, just show us on the screen there quickly. So the top one, why people divorce. What's the top one with the heart? Because I can't see it properly. You can't see it? Well, usually it's things like they disagree, right? And they argue too much, right? So it's like sometimes it can be just a disagreement and because of arguing.
So it's 73% lack of commitment, 56% excessive arguing, 55% infidelity, 46% marrying too young, and 45% unrealistic expectations, with 44% lack of equality in relationship.
That one, unrealistic expectations. That's a very interesting one right there.
Yeah.
So I love these pieces that we're learning because you know what, it just keeps things real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you want to be, we're holier than thou because we're in a relationship, so everything's great because we're in a relationship. But it's work. Yeah. It's work, man. I've been doing this thing for a while, man. It's gonna work. So right now I'm going to be listening to this piece and I'm going to be like this. It's like an autopsy. Like, here's a heart. I'm just watching my heart getting thrown to the side. Here's a lung. Like, you know what I mean? So let's get this show on the road with the first piece. 3, 2, 1. Take it away, Kathleen.
For some reason, people, they value the big moments. And all the big moments in life, they are very important. If I ask here for the couples and for all of you, even if you are single, for sure you have a big moment in your life, right? To have a big moment in life. All of us, we have a big moment in life. In the Bible, in many different places, we can see that the big moments, they are very important. But more important than the big moments are the small ones. And in a marriage, it's not different. We can see, sometimes couples that they value a lot big moments, and they create a big expectation about the big moments. People that they say, you know what, I want to have an amazing wedding celebration. I have to, my reception has to be, an amazing reception. And what we see, people valuing these moments, nothing against that. If you have money, you can do whatever you want with your money. But we can see people that, yesterday Bishop James was sharing with us in the program his love story. He was, mentioning a very, very interesting detail that, in an average, people here in UK, they spend between 25 and 40,000 pounds in a wedding. Look at that. So people value these things. No, I'm going to hire a castle because my wedding has to be in a castle. I want to have a big reception full of guests. Okay, That's a big moment. Couples that perhaps they are now facing, a bad moment in the relationship, and they think, you know what? We need something massive. We need a big moment for us to fix this problem. I was talking to the pastors last Sunday, and one of the pastors was sharing with us how sad. A couple in church, facing problems, but unfortunately, not attending the love therapy. This is what, I don't understand. It's like, you have a pain, you got a pain, and someone come and, I'm going to take you to the hospital. Please, Pastor Lucas. Try to,
Let me take you to
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Need help?
No, I'm okay. That's how I see couples facing problems, and they don't want help. They pretend they are okay. They pretend it's fine, I'm fine. You have to stop lying to yourself. Acknowledge the problem, and let's do something about it. But again, the couple was, facing a problem. And she had a brilliant idea. You know what? We need a time together. So she took her savings and bought a nice trip. She came with an envelope and said, look, I have here something that's my gift for you. I booked a trip to this place, just you and me together. Everything's paid. Let's go. Guess what was his answer? I don't want to go. What is the point for us to go to this trip? If here we are fighting like dog and cat, we're going to go there and we're going to fight like dog and cat in another country. I don't want that. I prefer to stay. He said, but look, this is non-refundable. He said, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going. So can you see? We can see the classical mistake. Someone, in her case, invested in a big moment. I wanted to have a big time with my husband. Let's go to this place, take pictures, and have a time together. Let's have this moment together. Is this important? It is. Big moments are very important. But pay attention, please. If you are not investing in the small moments, whatever big moment you are planning will be a disaster.
Wow. You can't get it more clear than that, right? We can focus so much on the big things, and I think the big things are what everybody can see. Everybody can even see on Instagram or Facebook or, in the pictures or what you can talk about, but not consider the small things with each other. I mean, your thoughts on that, Hepzibah?
Well, there's a picture that we showed before where the couple, as you said, on Instagram, you see the big moments. Yeah, we're all happy, serene, together, smiling.
Back in track.
And behind,
you're okay.
And behind the scenes, they show them arguing, and So it's nice to show the big things on the outside, but it's what you're doing behind those closed doors.
Yeah,
that's what's key.
And and when you see the big things, you're like, whoa, and to be honest, for someone to be in a relationship, it's so easy to focus on how can I say, no, it's not so easy, but you can get distracted with the big things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can, so for example, you could be very unhappy. This is it. You can be very unhappy with certain things that you're unhappy within the relationship, but guess what? Okay, let's go on a holiday, and that's the big thing, right? And because of that, you think everything works, but the technicalities of the relationship haven't been resolved, and those are resolved in the smaller, more intimate moments. And I like this example that was given. People can work on a day to get married, spend 25 to 40K on a wedding day. And here's the thing, deciding to get married on a wedding day investing all that money, investing and saving. So the mind is thinking about the wedding day, but the mind is not thinking about the intricacies of the person that I'm actually planning to be with still.
Yeah.
Right? It's shifted only focus on the wedding. I mean, I'm just going to put this one out there, because how many times have we seen, I think even in Bishop Macedo's case, even Bishop James's case, that they were planning the wedding day, but it's actually during that time where the person revealed, like, you know what, there's things in them that we can't really work with, and it might sound like a thing, but why? Because the mind was still conscious of what's important. So small things, do you know what I mean? Small things will get sometimes when you're planning the big things, small things can be revealed to you that is like, this is a red flag, this isn't the person.
But the thing is about the small things, right? You kind of dismiss it, thinking, "Oh, that will change later on."
Yeah.
So because you're still honing on the big things, so the small things that are the red flag, you kind of like dismiss and put it aside, and then
we justify it,
and that comes out like the skeleton from the cupboard, and oh yeah.
He's like, I knew it, right? I knew it, but now you have to make China prayer on Thursdays consistently for that person. You've lost your Thursdays, right? So I think this is something we really need to be careful of. I think just this thought alone of not getting distracted with the big things. Everyone could give a pat on the back and say, "Oh, this person's nice," or "This person's great," but you're with the person to see the smaller things.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because at home it boils down to all kinds of things, because you can focus on this. So the big thing with me, like maybe making the bed in a certain way. Do you know what I mean? And then, you focus on, well, how you do it like that? I like it like this. And it's just, just allowing that person to do it the way that they think it looks nice. And then, when you do it your way. Okay.
So that's even that's even being in the relationship, right? And we can make things like a big deal out of certain things, right? But like you said, let it go, and just let it become a small thing and let it pass. So you have two different ways of seeing things. You have small things, we have big things that can be a distraction to small red flags, right? And then you also have things that we can make into a big thing, but it really is a small thing and could be suffocating our relationship. Very interesting. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Let's go on to part 2.
Couples that they prepare everything. No, let's buy a house. We need a house, and they buy a house. Let's, invite our friends. Let's have a party to celebrate a new house we bought. Just a facade, appearance, a moment, a big moment. And as soon as the guests are leaving the house, they start fighting again. And I'm speaking to people that perhaps are in church. People that supposedly they were supposed to believe in the promises of God, but they are going through a hell in marriage. Friends, let me tell you something. If you are married, and if you have problems in your marriage, pay attention, please. If you have problems in your marriage, I have good news. You are normal. If you say, "I'm married, but I don't have problems," you are not normal. You are not normal. There is a problem. Then there is a big problem with you. Because if you are married to someone, eventually you face problems. But the major problem is people, they want to invest in big moments and they neglect the small moments. The Bible says here in Zechariah 4:10, they will put on the screen, look at that. For who has despised the day of small things? Look, we already learned here that our love life can be compared to our life with God, with our spiritual life. And if you observe the way that God deal with us, you will understand how you should proceed in your marriage. All of us, we had big moments with God. All of us. Who is baptized with the Holy Spirit? How was that moment? A big or a small moment? A big moment. That's important. But how many people we know that they once had the Holy Spirit, but because they stopped doing those small things. And what are these small things in our life with God? Praying, fasting, reading the Bible, coming to the church. The small things. They start sinking spiritually. Now you can understand. You can understand why your marriage is not doing well. Most of the times you think, oh, there is a demon here. Let's rebuke this demon. Okay, rebuke the devil. But you have to do something about it as well. You have to invest also in the small things. Doing the small things. You know what are the small things? The little things. A compliment. How many couples they stop, doing that? They're, having their lunch together instead of the guy instead of saying, oh, the food is delicious. Thank you very much. But the problem is you start seeing these daily tasks as an obligation. It's her obligation. She has to cook. It's his obligation. He has to change the light bulb. It's his obligation to do this and that. It's her obligation to do this and that. Look, okay, in marriage, we have our tasks, right? But couples, for some reason, they neglect being nice to each other. This is a small thing. I know it's so small. It's so small, but this is what will save your marriage. Because when you were dating, how is the dating period? Okay, 7 o'clock. I have 5 minutes. Okay, let me take this jacket. Let me take this pair of trainees and let me go. Is that the way? I doubt. There are people here that spend 2 hours in the mirror. Preparing for stay out for 1 or 2 hours. Perhaps you spend more time, before the mirror than with your boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not saying that when you doing these crazy things when you are married, but it's small things.
Okay, very, very interesting. So looking back at the small things, and by the way, morning coffee question does go to me, Julie and Kathleen. All right, well done, guys. But obviously it's a thing of time today because we've got quite a few things to share and to go through this morning. All right, so the small things, being nice to each other. Being nice
consistently, not moodily. Do you know? Hi, good morning. And then it's, are you okay? Silent treatment.
But I mean, it should be like standard procedure, right? To be nice to each other. If you go into your workplace, right, you want to be nice, right? If you go to a restaurant to see someone, you want to be nice. It's such a small thing to ask, right? But it's so easy in a relationship for the person who's by your side, that you spend your life with, that being nice, as simple as it is, could be a thing that gets forgotten in a relationship. Right?
They say familiarity breeds contempt. And so that when you say it gets forgotten, it's because it's too familiar, but it's not treating each other as a soul, as, that it's really going out of yourself, really. Like you would a stranger, like you would host someone in your home. It's consistently doing that kind of behavior in the home. Because, but having fun, because you're that you're governing yourself, policing yourself, And when you're going out of, when you say something that's flippant and you realize, oh, sorry, I didn't, it's consistently governing yourself, but enjoying it, because the joy of the Lord is your strength, and the joy of having that relationship gives you the leverage why you want to do it that way.
Yeah. But here's the interesting thing, right? Because you touched on everyone has their responsibilities in the relationship. So think about this. When you're dating the person, you're like, I'm going to impress you. Today when she sees me, I will have the perfect cologne. And she will fall into my arms. So there is all that energy to impress and please the person, the chase, right? And even for the lady, right? She's always smelling good and all the rest of it. So now you guys come together and it's a thought like autopilot. Okay, it's done. Okay, now we just get on with life. And to be honest with you, when I got married, I had that thought as well in my head. I had that thought as like, okay, so now we're going to work out how life looks like. You know what I mean? And I think that's an easy temptation to fall into. A very easy, because no one actually teaches us this stuff. No one teaches you. You do, it's common sense when you hear it and think about it, but no one teaches you that, okay, once you've got this thing going, you know what I mean? Always continue to be nice. You're going to see their faults and they're going to upset you, but continue to be nice. You might even seem like a mad person being nice. But what happens if you get one rotten apple and you get two rotten apples? They all just get mashed up, So I think that was really, really, really interesting. So neglecting to be nice. And like simple things like having lunch together. I remember, I tell you one thing, me and my wife, we would always do this. We'd always go to a place to have breakfast. One of the things about when I became self-employed person is that we would have freedom of time. And I tell you, it's so renewing just to sit in a cafe, into a nice coffee shop, talking to each other, looking out the window, and just let the world stop for a while. And at the same time, we can see how it's so easy for these things to kind of just get brushed aside. Do you know what I mean? And you just go on in the speed of life without having those little small moments. I mean, like back in the day, like in your previous life, I mean, what was that like for you? I mean, in terms of ignoring those little small moments.
I was thinking, as you were saying, in the investment, I think, the thing is not having the expectations, just doing things day to day. So the little things, we did small things. I mean, even on our honeymoon, it was kind of crazy. We had this huge suitcase, right? Oh my goodness. And instead of me making it easy for him, I made it worse.
Why?
Because I kept on moaning.
About what?
About, he couldn't manage the suitcase, and I would sort of rush off and do what I need to do ahead of him. And I just think that, oh, gosh, just the small things, just saying, like, do you need a hand? Can I help you along the way?
Wow.
Just, wanting to get to the place, wanting to find the area, not knowing the language, and all these things were in place. And then when we got to the hotel room, the huge suitcase with everything in it, just one suitcase, we were just so immature. But, those small things, I look at them now, they were small things, but I made them big things back in the day.
And so you can think, so you thought you was breaking through behaving like that. But such a small thing like, you okay, babes, you okay with the suitcase? Could have made a whole difference to his culture, the way he thinks.
Yeah, and the struggle that he had with it, instead of me and he had to be getting vexed because I'm, having a go. But the small things, being nice, being thoughtful, what you learn now. What because sometimes because it's interesting because in relationships, young people sometimes can't relate to the older people, so they don't have much to say to you. And if you speak to them, they don't know how to break through that barrier of saying, yeah, I'm okay. They'll just give you one, you ask them a question, they'll just give you one reply. And you can see how that can actually, and you understand. So if you try to understand someone where they are, then you won't make it worse, those small things worse. Say, why she doesn't talk, why doesn't he talk in the relationship as well? He's not talking. Why is he not talking? What have I done? But it's just that processing what they're processing or trying to process, empathizing, thinking, okay, maybe they don't know how to relate. Maybe they don't, and it's
not that. It's not like, man, why are you so quiet, man?
Yes.
Speak up. What I'm sure. No, it's not that, right?
Exactly. So making the small, looking at those, not making the small things big things.
And look, and the thing is, like, when that kind of thing happens, the other person could be like, I mean, that's the extrovert, right? Speak up now. But you could have the other person like, this person don't want to talk, fine.
Yeah.
And then get go into attitude.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But
Yeah.
like you're saying, it's a place where it's a small thing to try to understand and meet where the person is. All right, let's go to the next part, guys, because of the time. But if you got anything to add, please put it in the live chat. We want to hear from you. Let's keep it going.
Wake up. There are couples that they wake up and they don't even say good morning to each other. They don't kiss each other. Oh, Pastor, but a kiss in the morning time is dangerous. You know why, right? But you will survive. I guarantee you. Hold your breath and, good morning, darling. You will survive. But I guarantee you this is small things. They will start to, tell me please, to sum up. But when you start putting these little things, these small things aside, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Washing the dishes. Perhaps you know, your husband, you see your wife, like Martha. Do you remember Martha? Doing lots of things. And you are there, enjoying your nothing box. Only those who are in the law therapy for a long time will understand the nothing box thing. You guys, you are there doing nothing. Because we men, we have the amazing ability to switch off our brain. It's true. And then you see your wife like, my friend, let me tell you something. If you go there and say, you know what, let me do the dishes. You can do something else. How big is that? Tell me, please. Are you saving the planet? No, but you are saving your marriage. By doing the dishes? Yes. Small things. Small things. Going out. There are married couples that they go out anymore. I don't have money, Pastor. I have a tip if you are broke. Because I'm a pastor. When I have a time, you know what we do? I already, said that in the marriage course. Let me share here with us. It's a small thing. Sometimes you know what I do. I take Karine and say, you know what? Let's go to Finsbury Park. You know how much is the ticket for you to enter in Finsbury Park? If they are charging, I can show you a gate that is no one charging. It's for free. Just to walk, yes. And sometimes when I want to do something really, really nice, you know what I do? I go to the Tesco, 3 pounds meal. You know the meal, 3 pounds. The sandwich, the crisps, and the juice. 2 of them. Walk, sit down. Pastor, but it's so cheap, my friend. It's not about how much we're spending. It's about the moment. A small moment. Perhaps you think, but I want to take my wife to the restaurant, to see the skyline of London. But look, if you can do that, go. God bless you. Spend 200 pounds in the meal, and be happy. I'm not against. But what will make difference, the real difference in your marriage, are the small moments. The small moments. The little things. Being here tonight. How big is that? How big is that? Tell me, please. It's a small gesture. But just because you are here and you commit, okay, let's attend the love therapy every Thursday of May. This is a small thing, but this little thing will make a great difference in your marriage. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And look, let me reveal why. Not only because of the things you will learn here, because definitely we'll learn things that will help you, but mainly because of the time you are making to dedicate only to your relationship, your marriage. You are making this time. You and your spouse know we are here not to pray for our finances, not even to pray about our spiritual life, because you are doing that every Sunday and Wednesday. But we are here, and this moment here, this hour and a half in the love therapy here tonight, this is about us. Small things. But how important is that? You know, that little thing you do when you say, you know what, I have lots of things to do. Perhaps you work and you have, you can see your work piling up, but when you do what? You know what? Let me turn off my computer. Enough. Let me switch off my phone. Oh, but my boss will call me. My boss is here. He's my husband, my wife. Let me take a moment with them.
Do you know what? I was just listening to that just then, and I was just thinking to myself, the moments when my wife done something like to make me happy outside of my birthday or anything like that, it was more special. It made it more special. Where am I back in track? Thank you. It made it more special. And I think I made a note here from what was being said, that it is intention. Intention is what blesses us, right? Intention is what blesses us. You know, when we look at scripture, God says, God looks at the intention of the heart, right? So you had Pharisees who were like doing all this kind of stuff, these big things, right? But then God was watching the intention of the heart of the person who was humble and said, like, you know what, I'm wretched. Do you know what I mean? And it's intention that blesses us. I'm seeing now that, for example, like just using the times when me and my wife would go to for breakfast in a nice little coffee shop and order English breakfast. The intention is to just forget about the world and just to have time with each other. And so it really is, whatever we do with intention, that's what blesses us. So I think, and what's the opposite of intention? Intention, the opposite is to be passive, right? If we can be passive about our relationship, if we can be passive about setting structures and disciplines, which are small things that are done in secret, right? It's done in secret. It's not for everybody to see. It's done in secret. If we are passive about our communication, if we are passive about our intention, no intention, that's when things start to go wrong. Hey, Hepzibah.
Completely. And it's really, the intention is so important because because remember, you're thinking beforehand, so that intention will become an action. Yeah. And so because that intent, the thought then becomes the action. It's what you've thought, what you've put that into action to make the person feel happy. Yeah. Or like today, earlier I was reading, it talks about pleasing God. Mm-hmm. And pleasing means satisfying someone, making them feel happy. Mm-hmm. And so the intention, all our intentions in a relationship is really to make someone happy. Sometimes we can get a bit overboard, a bit flippant, mm-hmm. but generally the 99% of the time is to make them feel happy. Yeah. If you've got the author of love, mm-hmm. intention in your heart. That's right. Then that's what you'll be doing.
And I think that's a huge thing, listeners. I mean, like the way in the first section where it said it's just like our relationship with God, right? So we've got the night vigil, yes, come upon me, Father, da 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 da, and all the rest of it, and it's a blessing, right? Colleen, Hepzibah, we have these meetings, and it's a blessing, right? The big meetings, right? But what's the things that make us become more intimate with God? It's not the huge big meeting. That huge big meeting got us started onto something, got us started onto an intention. But it's those moments when we decide, we're probably no one knows, where we go home and we seek God intently, right? Where we choose to meditate on the word and we're like, God, speak to me through each letter. Do you know what I mean? Each line, talk to me. I really want to hear from you. No one is seeing it. It's a small thing, but that's where we get to know God more. We get to know who God is. We get to be stronger, more confident in God, in those secret small things that we do with intention. And it's exactly the same thing in our relationship life. Our partners are always changing. We are always changing. We are always developing. But the moment we're intentional to say, I want to make this person happy, let me understand this person. I want to understand this person. I want to measure. I can see that the way I speak like this does not help the person. It makes the person become defensive. So let me be inspired in a way to communicate in a way that I can get through. It's intentional and it's a thing that no one else sees, but that's what we exercise, right?
Completely. And it's rewarding because it bears fruit. Because the other person, sometimes it gets a bit of a jagged start, but you consistently do what you do to please the person, the results always come back.
Absolutely. Pranjal goes on to say, Assistant Robert, making a mole out of a mountain or making a mountain out of a molehill. Sometimes I think that's when you, like, something was so small, but you make a big thing out of it to cause a problem. Yeah. Right? Or sometimes it's the small things that we do in a good way that could bring the greatest result for our relationship. This is fantastic. And by the way, Patience says, a very good morning, family. And we've got something there from Priscilla. What's Priscilla saying, Hepzibah?
She's saying, happy birthday, my darling sister, Miss Julie. Pray.
Field.
Oh, Julie Field. Okay.
Yeah.
Pray you have an amazing day. I love from South Africa.
Oh, lovely. Loving it. All right, let's keep it going. All right, guys. So look, this is very interesting. So one of the things that we're getting about the small things, intention is not seen. It's not visible. But when it's executed, it bears its fruit. It's executed in secret because it's an intention of the heart. Yeah. And that's what bears its fruit. Let's remember this for our relationship life. Let's go to the next part. Champion.
And let me give you a top tip. When you do these things, you have to announce. You have to say like that. Oh, I'm so tired of this work. I'm turning off. I want a moment with my wife. My friend, you just got to start. Small things, but important things. This is exactly how our relationship with God works. Do you remember the Pharisees? Jesus, how many times exposed their behavior? The Pharisees, that they used to go to the squares and say, oh my God, here I am, and doing this and that. Making a big thing. And Jesus showed, can you see that guy praying on his knees there at the corner, humbling himself? It's a small thing, but you can be sure God is considering that small thing, not the big one. You want to keep the blessing you already have, the blessing you already living in your marriage. Invest in the small things. And you know what is the result of these little small things? The Bible says in Job 8:7. They will put there. Look at that. Though your beginning was small, can you read the rest for me, please? Abundantly. Can you see? The small things, but how they will end up? Big. They will increase abundantly. Oh, Pastor, but I just booked a holiday. What do I do? Go ahead. But make sure you also invest in the small things, in the little things. Look, the sum of the small moments they end up bigger than the big moments. And when I say small, trust me, there's things that are so tiny but very important. So important. A touch. I'm sorry to say, but there are husbands here that they just touch their wives when they want something. Be nice. A touch. A kiss. A message through the day. But not a message like that. Please don't forget to pay the water bill. Wrong message. You can send this kind of reminder. That's okay. But if at the end, add a heart emoji or something. Small things. Invest in the small things. Put your work aside a little bit. Oh, but I need to make some money. I'm doing that for us. Okay. You're giving too much time for your work. You're going to end up alone. And the money you are making. Invest in the small things. So, I have a challenge for all couples here tonight. Where are the couples? Where are the couples? Show me your hands. All of you, I'm going to challenge you now. Starting from tonight, you will start investing in these small things. Every day of this week, you will at least do something nice. A little thing. And look, most of the small things that will bless you, they are for free. So you don't need to touch your pocket. You don't even need to go to Tesco and buy the meal. But you can do something nice. A gesture. And look, when you receive the small things from your husband, from your wife, be nice as well. Because there are people that they're so critical in their marriage that when they do something nice here, Pastor. Be careful what you're doing, okay?
Stronger day.
You're just doing that because what Pastor James said last Thursday.
Yeah,
You are ruining everything. Please don't do it. Don't say it. Just receive it. Why don't you just receive it? Leave me out of this situation, please. I'm understanding. Just receive it. Even if it's been so fake. Let's be nice.
I'm sorry, that's so classic. I can imagine what Pastor James feels like. Don't bring me into this. Yeah, just take the effort. They're making it. Just take it. But human beings, we could be that bad.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah. The negative thoughts that come immediately when a good action, when something's done. It just, as he says, it spoils the whole thing. Why did I bother in the first place?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm making an effort here. Can you not see? I'm making an effort.
Yeah.
But no, you've got to dampen it. Bam.
What's wrong with us human beings?
Yeah, we don't know what we want.
I think so. Yeah, really. You know what I mean? The person does a little something to kind of like move themselves, right? And then we kind of step on it like, what are you trying for? What are you trying? And after we say it, in our mind, we're like, they need to try harder. They need to try better. They need to try and do something. But when they do try, you're like, what are you doing? Trying to make things better?
Yeah,
with a little gesture.
It's like Pastor Luke's wife was saying, she wanted her husband to step up, and he wasn't stepping up. And the moment he stepped up, she switched again.
Wow.
Do you know? So we don't know what we want.
Human beings.
Yeah, we're fickle.
Pranjal says, Assistant Robert, small things are better than little things. Okay, we need to give pure love to the partner. Those two idioms mean that which I posted beforehand. Taligado. And we also have something here from Sahir who says, good morning, family. What a great lesson to all married couples to take up. Frederick from Sierra Leone. Oh. Yeah, we've got Sierra Leone in the house. All right, fantastic. Nice to have you with us, Frederick. So look, guys, we're probably watching this right now and you'd be like, some people be like, no, I wouldn't do that. You know, I'm of God, like, you know, I'm godly, you know, but it really is a wrestle with yourself, because I don't know what happens with this human wiring, right? But we really need to have Jesus' love in our heart. It's the only way. Dealing with pride, dealing with, you know, I mean, sometimes we say, okay, we're forgiving, but sometimes if something's happened and the person is trying to make a recompense, even it might have been after a while, but they finally reached a point where they've seen that I need to change and they want to do something, you know, we just literally step on that little flame, that little candle, that little hope that they have. Do you know what I mean? To try to, instead of fueling it, it's so strong. So do something nice. And you know what? And to be honest with you, for those of you who do try and your partner doesn't see it, just it's an offering to God.
Yes.
It's an offering to God.
Complete.
Right? Because now the tables have turned. Maybe you didn't see you was making a mess. Now you're trying to do better, and they're like stamping on the fire, right? You're trying to make a little. It just caught a little bit. It didn't even get smoke. It's just turned a little bit yellow, and they're like, ah! Do you get what I mean? So it's like, it's Jesus.
Be at peace. Be at peace.
Be at peace. Yeah, you're doing your part. You know. Let's go to the final piece right now.
We have to do something nice. I know that will be a bit awkward. Perhaps you don't even remember the last time you say I love you. And you say, you know the thing, right? Now just say, look, I love you. That will not be natural, perhaps. Oh, it was so long ago, right? However, receive it. And I know that you hear that, you receive that nice gesture, and you think, he's not being him. She's not being natural. I know. Because they are challenging themselves to be different now. He's challenging himself to do something that he was not used to. For example, I don't know if you could notice my accent. I'm not British. Have you noticed that? Really? How come? Yes. I'm sorry. I'm not British. You already noticed my strong accent, right? My Brazilian accent. Yes. That's not natural. It's not natural for me to speak English. But if I start speaking Portuguese, you will not hear my Brazilian accent speaking the Brazilian Portuguese. Because that is natural. But if I start practicing my English, there will be a time in 20 years that probably you will not even notice my accent. But for me to reach that point, what do I have to do? Tell me, please. I have to practice. I have to invest. I have to read. I have to listen. I have to do all the things that I don't want to do. But I have to. In the marriage, it's the same thing. You have to invest. You have to practice. Go and do it. Oh, but that would be so awkward because we're fighting every single day. I know, because what is the natural thing now for you? It's to fight. It's to offend. It's to hurt. But now, when you start doing the opposite, that will be unnatural for a moment. But trust me, that will become natural. And those small things, because that's the problem. As we were saying, the example before, when couples, they reach up, the highest moment of the highest moment of their problems and situation. So I have to do something now. Let me book a trip to, I don't know, let's go to Australia, let's go to, I don't know where. Okay, but look, what is the point for you to go abroad, to fight abroad? So why don't you, instead of, investing 3,000-5,000 pounds, in a trip, why don't you invest £2 buying a nice card? A rose. If you do that every single day, if you're willing to invest 5,000 pounds, so why don't you break it down in the whole year and do, little things? Nice. That will be much better for you. Don't you agree with me? Small things. Just like our life with whom? With God. Amen.
Oh wow, there we have it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap right there. Hepzibah, there was so many different nuggets, so many different pearls in that. And I don't even know where to start. We have Dion saying quality time with your spouse is so important. Make the time, right? Once again, living it by intention. Right, look, she's there. Look, she's there. She's there. She's right there. Huh? So, darling, yeah, we have to do some things that are intentional. I can see you there in the live chat. All right, let's be intentional. Let's create things intentionally because it won't happen by itself.
Not at all.
And it says to change, we have to invest. So there are things that are not helping our relationship, right? So we have to be really intentional to say, you know, I would need to make an effort because this is not normal for me. This thing that is not helping my partner, or this way that we're doing that is harming my partner, is not good for us. So I need to work even harder at the initial stages to change that situation. It's like when you've got the rudder on a ship. If you try to force it straight away, it'll snap and break, right? But it's that thing, you have to use force to stir that thing around to go into another direction. Yes or no, Hepzibah?
Totally. And I think, you know, it brought along the thoughts for me that when we came to God, we were intentional about our change. We were intentional about doing those things that we want to please Him.
Yes.
We were deliberate. And so, you know, and that's why it's great to have these seminars, because it reminds you of your intentionality.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you've just come along this journey and you're new on this journey, then it's good to listen and to adapt and apply quickly.
Yeah.
But when you've been on this journey for a while, you know, you're on the ship, you know, you get a bit, you know, like, oh, is it the same old thing all the time? No, but you remember, these seminars remind you of why you have that intention and what are the end results? What do you want? What's the fruits you want from doing what you need to do that's going to please you yourself, give you peace, and please the person that you're with.
So you have an intention of the outcome.
Yes.
Right? You have an intention of the outcome. So even if something happens, oh, this is my small gesture, and you're like, yeah, get out, I don't want it. What are you trying to do, you fake? You pretender, you're fake pretender. No, it's like, oh, here's my thing. Oh, thank you so much. Fake, shut up.
Yeah.
I receive it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because it just gives peace. And the thing is, you know, you're doing that until you actually realize that, I need to thank him for that. Because, you know, he thought or she thought of me.
Yeah.
And it's just the thought that counts. It's not the big things, you know. Just even as Pastor said, saying I love you.
Yeah.
Today I got a message that I love you. I was like, oh,
shucks.
Yeah. Do you know? So it's nice.
It's a small thing.
It's a small thing,
but it makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference.
Guys, I hope you got all of that today. Obviously, because of the time, I know that our lady is going to be traveling off. But before she does, just to remind you, we've got the Love Talk happening this evening, right, Hepzibah?
8 o'clock.
Tell us about it. What we got going on?
So, you know, those of you who are doing the challenge, I'm sure Pastor's going to talk about the challenge, that you've done those nice things. You'll be able to put your hand up. And so it's for the singles, it's for the marrieds, because we're doing things nice is definitely a script from the author of love.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, for example, this morning, I was about to leave my house. I was about to go, okay, let go. But then I was like, no, do stuff, because I edited the material. I was like, okay, I went and kissed my wife on the forehead. See? So so that's it. So I'm going to be intentional. So I'm getting it now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that throughout the whole week.
Yeah.
See, my wife is watching you. When you're the host of a show and and you say stuff and you got your partner there and it's about things to do with relationship. My friend, it's not easy. But
it's true. I mean, even, you know, I'm with my friend, with my relative, and I kiss her in the forehead before I go.
Yeah.
But she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you don't even tell me that you're gone. But I know that I've done what I've done, do you know? And it's kind of cool, you know?
Exactly. And you know what, and it's written, there's a passage that with a promise that which is done in secret, God will honor you openly. Right? So sometimes secretly we can be making a mess, and God is like allowing dishonor to come to us openly. We've been just seeing a lot of dishonor. But the moment we start doing things in secret, in the small things, we have open honor. On that note, guys, I hope this program has blessed you today. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I've got some nuggets here to go and carry away with me to take back home. And I hope those of you who are single, it's helped to work on the frame of mind, right? Because many of you are single, God's going to add someone to your life. Or sometimes God is like, I can't give you my son because you gonna kill him. I can't give you my daughter because you gonna kill her. They're in faith now. They join to you. They're gonna be in faith in a year's time. So it's gonna be hard. But this is what it is. And so when we're learning these things, we want what we want. We want a relationship. But when we're hearing these things, we're qualifying ourselves before God for Him to be able to trust us with that special person.
For sure.
All right, guys. So tonight, 8 p.m. Here at Finsbury Park, we're gonna have the love therapy. If you are in another continent, you can't travel to Finsbury Park, then just click on Liberty Radio and you can get it online. It's going to be a complete blessing. You're going to get all of the meeting, the prayers, everything. It's going to be amazing, and you'll be up to speed with everything that's going to be going on. Until then, guys, we're finishing up right now. I want to thank you, Kathleen, for being an awesome woman of sound. You are great. Let's see your face one more last time. Thank you. Yep, there we go. And I want to thank you, Hepzibah, for being so awesome and joining us every Thursday.
Thank you.
You're a wonderful Miss Trendy. Come on and comfort me. Na na. Hang on, I forgot. I'm still here. So Hepzibah, and I want to thank you, dear listeners, for joining us this morning, for putting up with my condition. All right. And from 7 a.m. Till 9 a.m. The patient says it's a promise at Mr. Robert. Absolutely. And also, guess what? We'll be back on Monday. Well, tomorrow we're going to have a repeat of the show. Most people are asking for us to repeat the program of the one to do with what not to eat on an empty stomach. Most people are asking for that one, but I think we might play the Olero because everybody loved that too. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But other than that, we'll be live in the studios on Monday, same breakfast show time, 7 a.m., same breakfast show channel, libertyradio.co.uk, with more banter, more inspiration, motivation, and education, because we want to have a robust day. Until
love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted.